Yo, you must become undeniable, right? And the beauty of this is I'm not there yet, right? So you guys are watching me get to that level. And this is me documenting the whole process. Each and every one of these videos, each and every post that I create on social media is me just starting to get to that level because, like I've been saying in all my videos, this is version 22 of me, right? Like I turned 22 back in February, and by the time I turn 23, I can't be the same person, right? And the reason I say you must become undeniable is because if you truly, truly care about your goals, if you truly, truly care about getting to the next level, then everything you say, like you must say it with conviction, right? Like you have to sell yourself before you can sell anybody else on your dreams, on your goals, on your vision, on your mission, right? Even if you're building a business, if you can't sell the product by yourself, it's not going to be easy for you to hire somebody else to sell it for you, right? And even if you hire somebody else to sell it for you, they will never be able to sell it as good as you because it's your product, it's your service, it's your offer, right? And the reason, I bring this up for today's video specifically is because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's been a consistent theme in my recent videos. And as I start to drop more and more daily content for you guys, I'm going to start to, break down what's been happening in the business for me, what's been happening in my clients' businesses, mentally and obviously operationally, so that you guys can take that back not only to yourselves and to implement into your businesses, but for those of you that have clients, but for you to also start to implement some of these things into your clients' businesses as well, right? And for today's main topic, right, which is becoming undeniable, is realizing that you do need to continue to perform, right? And I've been on a new schedule, right, where I've been just waking up at 2 to 3 a.m. and then you know hit the gym and then come back and then do whatever else I got to do for the whole day, right? And the reason I'm doing this is because I understand that this period of time, it requires a lot of hours, right? And I'm willing to do those hours. I'm like, it's a building phase of this client's offer, of this client's service, of this client's business. And I'm a participant in that business, right? I'm one of the coaches. I'm one of the course creators, right? I'm the, you know, like, I have to make sure that everything is running well and everything is running smoothly, right? And it's not that they tasked me with this. They tasked me with this, with this role. It's me taking ownership and leading the process, right? Early on, we've been working with this client since February. And early on, it wasn't me leading the operation. But I noticed that things started to go sideways. And at one point, I realized, like, yo, any other time I've let somebody else lead a situation where I know what to do, where I understand what to do, and I understand the process of something, and I understand how, what the workflows need to be, what the day to day needs to look like. Whenever I've let somebody else lead, it hasn't gone the way it should have gone. So I would say towards the end of February, what did I do? I took charge, right? And I brought it up to, to the, I won't name any names, but I brought it up to the person that was currently leading. I was like, yo, bro, like, this isn't going in the right direction. Like, things need to change, things need to shift. And then I think in the next meeting or the next meeting after the next meeting is when I was like, yo, okay, I just assumed the role. I assumed the leadership role, right? And the reason I say I assumed the role is because that's something I've always done, right? Even when I was playing back on my high school soccer team, it's something where when I'm on the field, I just start, for some reason, I just start giving orders, right? Like, yo, pass it to this guy, pass it to this guy, or hold the ball, you have time, right? And, look behind you, like, it's just natural, right? Where I just assume that leadership role. And this follows me in business. This follows me in everything that I do. And obviously, before I continue on, simple business casual fit today: black jacket, blue t-shirt or gym shirt, whatever you want to call it. And then we've got the blue tinted sunglasses. We've got blue pocket square. And this is actually a new knot that I've got. It's like, I discovered it literally just playing around just now before this video. And then we got the, blue face watch, brown leather belt, and then, you could wear this suit with blue pants, black pants, white pants, gray pants. It'll look clean, right? But yeah, to continue. So I assumed a leadership role, and things started going in the right direction. And when I say the right direction, is what I believe is the right direction. I'm not saying everybody else on the team agrees that this was the right direction at the time when I started to assume the role of just being in charge, right? And every day I started coming with new task, right? I started building out different infrastructures for the entire for this entire project, right? From who needs to be doing what, who we need on the team, what we're gonna need on the team as we start to hit different milestones. So for example, my client right now, he's an actor, he's a celebrity, he's a movie producer, he has his own podcast, and he gets a lot of attention per month, right? Like millions of views, right? Just from his podcast, right? So now what are we doing? This is a large scale project, right? It's not some small, oh, let me work with you for 2 to 3 months. This is a project that I see, as long as things work out and contracts remain in play and yada yada, this is a long-term partnership. Like, I'm talking about a couple years, as long as everybody is doing what they need to be doing and everybody is just giving their best. I'm giving my all in this project, right? A to Z. I'm up in the morning, I'm working, lining things up, email like email copy, webinar scripts, presentations, courses. I'm creating them. I'm creating templates for everybody else. I'm creating, course templates for everybody else that's going to be creating their own courses, right? Inside of the inside of the business, right? I'm also creating the different contracts, bringing on the different contractors that we need, right? Hiring the right virtual assistants, training them, making sure that they're doing their jobs efficiently, right? So it's a lot of moving parts and it's a large scale operation, right? And obviously I had to learn to do these things over time, right? Like, you don't just start doing these things. You don't just, oh, all of a sudden you know how to do this stuff that I'm doing right now. Obviously, over the last 6 years, I could say I've been getting experience doing this stuff, right? Whether it's been me taking, I don't want to say internship, but me just working under somebody else, right? And me just paying attention to what they're doing, paying attention to the moves that they're making in their businesses, right? Signing up for different coaching programs, signing up for different communities, paying for different courses, paying for different coaches, one-on-one mentorships, going to different live events. Like, I've gone to so many, I don't want to say so many events, but I've participated in so many different events, coaching programs, courses that, people are like, oh, bro, why do you keep buying courses and this and that? And, that's a scam. For me, I don't see it as a scam. For me, I just see it as, okay, there's something new to learn, right? And a lot of it was shiny object syndrome for me, right? Where I was just, oh, new opportunity. So I'm just swiping. And obviously, paying. And I'm at a point now where I don't really need any more courses, right? At least not on the topics that I'm not in the field that I'm currently involved in, right? Like, I have the knowledge, I have the experience, I've worked under somebody else to gain that experience as well, right? So I think I heard this from Ty Lopez, but he got it from somebody else, right? I think there's, and I'm probably gonna mess it up, but there's 3 primary functions to learning, right? Visually, right? Like, where you can watch somebody else and you watch them do it, right? And then it's them teaching you how to do it, right? Verbally or audio, like they'll just tell you what to do. And then the first one is you watch them do it, right? You stay close, you watch them do it. The second one is they tell you what to do. And the third one, you do it. So you're learning through doing it, right? So if I got it correct, those are the 3 primary ways of learning. So I've gotten the courses which told me what to do, told me how to do something, right? I've watched somebody else do it. So I've watched, one of my first largest clients, I watched her build her company up from like absolute zero to 300,000 a month to even more. Now they're pushing for 15 million per year, right? So I've seen her do it, and I say zero because when I joined, she was starting a different business. It's not like it was her first ever business, duh, right? But when I joined her team, she was just starting a new venture, and I was able to participate in that new venture, and I watched her build that up. And then last but not least, I've built different businesses myself. Like I'm not gonna say I've been wildly successful, but I got enough experience to where I know each and every moving part from literally $0 to $300,000 per month to more, right? Because when you get to a certain scale, it's really just about removing what you need to remove and adding what you need to add. Literally. Like, is it spending more money on ads? Is it spending more money on content? Is it creating better content for marketing purposes, right? Operationally, is it removing certain team members? Is it hiring better, faster, stronger, more efficient team members, right? So there's a lot of different ways to really, really operate and function at a higher scale, at a higher level, and make sure that you are actually getting results, not just for yourself, but for your team members, for your clients, etc. Right? Because again, assuming that leadership role, it's not an easy task. Not everybody can do it. But when you are doing it and you are pushing for the top and you are making sure everything is succeeding, you're making sure that you're succeeding. And as long as you're making sure you're succeeding, guess what? Your team members are going to start to perform because they're going to start looking at you. They're going to see the amount of effort and energy that you're putting. And then guess what? Your clients will also notice that, right? And then guess what? When your client's business is thriving, guess what's going to happen? Their friends are probably going to notice. People in their network are probably going to notice. And guess what? Who are they going to say did a great job or did a good job for them? They're going to point the finger at you, right? But guess what? Assuming the leadership role also means that if everything goes wrong, you're to blame, right? Not everybody can handle blame. Not everybody can take blame. And I'm okay with that. I'm also okay not being in player one seat, right? Because I understand that to be on a team, a winning team, everybody needs to play their role. So if it means I'm the face, okay. If it means I'm not the face, okay. Right? Even now, you guys, I'm going to, because of this partnership in this business, I'm going to open it up to you guys, right? Where you guys are going to be able to join and participate inside of what I'm building, where you guys can learn from everything that I'm building with this client, right? Where you guys can, when we get to the point where we're hosting live events, mastermind, all these types of things, you guys are going to be able to participate, right? So it's, as you can see, it's a long-term play. It's a long-term partnership. And when you're truly, truly after your goals and you truly want to win, how long of a time horizon are you giving to your goals? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? Is it a year? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? Right? Like for me, at least towards my current goals, I'm locked in for the next 20 years. And it's not to say, oh, it's going to take me 20 years to achieve my goals, but I'm locked in for 20 years. Meaning that by the end of 20 years, majority of the things that are on my goals, on my task list, etc., they need to have been achieved, right? Whether it's a certain yearly income, monthly income, daily income, right? Whether it's, let's say the cars, the houses, blah, 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 like all these different things, they need to have been accomplished. And a huge part of my goals, obviously, I've stated in previous videos, a huge portion of it is power, right? And it's the power to be able to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with who I want, etc., right? So that I can grow the things that I want to grow, build the companies that I want to build, and literally build the teams that I want to build, right? Like when you look at someone like, let's say, Elon Musk, what is he good at? He's not good at building successful companies. He's good at building successful teams, right? So if you can lead the right people, build the right teams, there's no reason for you not to be successful because you understand how to lead people, how to train people, how to manage people, right? Like I've been saying this. If you can do these three things, lead, manage, and operate, like you become an absolute beast. And if you can also market and sell and communicate properly, right? You become a whole different beast. So everything is about mastering the right skills, building the right skills, and, applying those skills in your day-to-day life, in your companies, with your friendships, and anything else, right? When you're truly, truly aiming to become exceptional, aiming to become undeniable, like the topic of this video, you need to make sure that in every facet of everything that you're doing, there is no room for error, right? There's no room for failure. Because again, to be a champion, it means you absolutely hate losing more than you love winning. And because of that, you're willing to go the extra mile. Like that's why I shifted my sleep schedule, where I know I could be waking up at 4, but it's not because, oh, like I'm trying to wake up early. It's more of a, okay, if I wake up at 4, by the time I get back from the gym, it'll probably be like 5, 6, 7, and then I get to work. But by that time, phone can start ringing, meaning people are sending me texts, people are sending me messages, Slack notifications from people on the team, and I also have employees and contractors that are on the other side of the world. So when it's 2 a.m. for me, it's like 2 p.m. for them. So I need to also communicate with them. So if I'm not awake to communicate with them when I need to communicate with them, that becomes an issue, because that's going to start to slow down the whole process. So there's a lot of reasons as to why I'm waking up at that time. But again, what are you willing to do to get to your goals? How far are you willing to go to ensure that your goals are secured, right? And it's never secured because, again, you're always going to be taking a risk with every decision that you take. And, some people might say, oh, you're taking a risk on your health. I mean, I'm still hitting the gym. I'm still going outside, going on a walk, getting sunlight, etc. So it's not like, I'm just staying inside all day. But again, like, you need to make it impossible for anybody else to compete with you mentally, physically, financially, right? Like, for most of us, for us guys, we look at, I'd say we look at money like a video game. Like, it's our power level, like, you have $100 in your bank, that's your power level. You have $1,000, that's your power level. You have 100,000, that's your power level. You have 100 million, that's your power level, right? Think about what you have access to, what you're able to do, what you can do that most people can't do. And it's not to say that, you're just after, power for power's sake, but it's because, let's say, one of your major goals is to just go and help your home country or something like that. Well, guess what? You probably need power to do that, right? And with money comes power, but you also need the right network, right? So it's also building your networking skills and communication skills and building the right relationships, right? So all these things are all different skills that you 100% need, as long as you're, aiming to be exceptional. But most people, they undermine these things, right? If that's the right word. They try to downplay certain things, like, oh, bro, I just uploaded a video on let's say Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, and it's a clip from the podcast that I was doing, and basically it's about always showing up and making a good first impression, because all it takes is the right person to say yes to you, right? And what does that mean? Okay, well, are you presentable? Are you always presentable? If you're not, that's a problem. And when I went to Vegas back in December, on the last day, when we're about to leave, I don't know what happened with my hair, but it was like all over the place, and I didn't realize that, right? It was until after I was looking at the pictures on my phone where I was like, yo, that's what I looked like. So for me, it was like, yo, I met all these people, I was talking to all of them, and then the way I connect with people once we exchange numbers, I'm like, yo, let's take a picture so that we remember each other's faces when we're texting and we're calling. And I'm looking at those pictures, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then what did I do? I came back, I shaved my head, right? Like, because one, it made it simple because I didn't have to do too much maintenance on my hair, and two, it's a clean cut, and I never had a problem with, like this hairstyle. When I let my hair grow, I just wanted to see what I would look like, and I might grow it again in the future, but for right now, because at the time I had somebody helping me take care of it, but by that time, that person was no longer in the picture. But now, this is much more manageable for me, at least. I'm letting my beard grow out, but I prefer the clean shave, again, because it's easier to maintain. But a big portion of why I'm letting it grow out is because I get crazy pimples right here when this is gone, right? But I know these are things that can be maintained and taken care of, and yada yada. But yeah, that's I don't want to say that's it for today's video, but keep in mind, like, when you're truly after excellence, when you're truly after being the best version of yourself, like I said, this is version 22 of me, and the goal is, by the time I'm at version 25, at version 30, I'm unrecognizable, right? Version 35, I'm unrecognizable. 40, unrecognizable, right? But guess what? I'm still building my status. I'm still building my name, my brand, my reputation, right? And the whole goal is to stay consistent over a long period of time. That's how you win. That's how you remain as a winner. Because guess what? It's extremely easy to get to the top, but staying at the top is what's hard, right? Like, nobody wants to be a one season wonder. Like, you might get some fame, you might get some attention for one season, for 2 seasons, for 3 seasons, but can you stay at the top for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, right? And this isn't just for sports, this is in business, because it's the same type of mental game. Like, how long can you stay at the top? Because that's where the real competition is, right? And like I said, you have to continue to play the game, because it's a game until you die. You must improve yourself mentally, physically, and financially. At every moment, you should always be looking at, how can I improve? You're always analyzing yourself. You're always analyzing your steps. You're always analyzing your moves. You're always analyzing, let's say, every video that you create. You're always analyzing every project that you've done, that you did, that you're going to do, right? Like, it's constant analyzation, constant calculation, right? Because guess what? Being at the top means you need to be extremely calculated. Most of you can't even handle the stress of your current lives right now. So imagine the stress that your goals are going to come with. So if you can't manage the current stress that's in your life right now, how are you going to manage the stress when you get to your goals, right? It's like, you need to be able to manage that stress before you get there. So it's learning yourself and understanding yourself and understanding what makes you tick, and, taking care of that, right? So that's it for this one, guys. Obviously, feel free to leave your comments down below. If you need to hit me up on Instagram, you can go ahead and do that. But if there's nothing else for me to drop, because brain's going out, been up since 2 a.m. It's currently 6 p.m. Make sure to hit that sub. That's it for this one.